Welcome to the Vision, Vibrancy, and Vitality with Vicki podcast. This could be a test. We're going to see how this goes. It is an absolute honor to be here on this journey with you. The other thing that's extremely exciting to me is that you are in sunny Florida feeling this at this time of the year, which is typically a little warmer than where you're from in that regard. So before we get started, how are you doing? What's showing up for you? What do you want to share as we step into this?
Oh, well, first of all, yeah, being in Florida this time of year is absolutely amazing, Charlie. So unfortunately we couldn't meet in person, but being here and feeling the sun and I'm feeling the energy, that's for sure. Especially since there's snowstorm going on at home. So I'm very grateful and blessed to be sitting here right now, for sure.
Yay! Well, I just want to celebrate. You and I have been on a journey for about a year and really trying to hone in on building a purposeful, profitable business. And the way we think about that through the lens of our work is that we really want to help people experience what you've shared as the three V's: vision, vibrancy, vitality, through and through. The thing that I love about your framework is that right out of the gate, as we sort of step into this world, is that we have a way of assessing and rating ourselves. As we think about, especially today, because we're about 2 weeks from the new year. This is December, what is the date? 17th? A couple weeks from now will be a New Year's Eve. So we have some runway here as we think this through to rate ourselves in these three areas. What is our vision for 2026? And is it big enough? What is in our energy realm, the vibrancy that we're carrying, the vitality that we have? And I love the work that you and I do in that we're certified high performance coaches. So there's a natural proclivity for us to rate ourselves in these areas. Zero, don't have a vision. Zero, pretty much dead. And I need help, or I don't, depending on the context of the person. But we have an immediate starting point to serve, support, and help people. The backside of this, and we'll get into more detail of this as we go through our work today, is this idea that you have very specific offers or very specific programs for people to get into to build skill, to build awareness, to go down this path of success. Typically, and I'll just say it out loud, faster than you do it on their own. Because I think you and I both know the power of a great coach, a great teacher, a great mentor, as far as helping us. So the goal in our journey today is to understand, and we'll kind of unpack this together, why you do this, where this comes from for you, how you do it uniquely. And boy, I got a whole list of things. That's some of the things I think are your superpowers, because I always equate how with superpowers. How do I do this uniquely? How do I stand apart from other people who may do similar things? And then what we do. So if anybody's familiar with Simon Sinek's work, The Golden Circle, this is a huge part of the Golden Circle technique. If you watch the TED Talk or Google it, you'll see within, I think it's 15 minutes, that the best companies and entrepreneurs in the world have an incredibly clear why. They do a lot of work to understand why they do what they do. Sometimes they develop life anthems, you know. They develop the anthem of, I want to serve, support, and guide people to the very best of themselves. And you have your own version of that. But it's so clear that you are living into your why, not as a part of, I got to do this because it's my job, but it's just part of who I am. You carry the flag of your why everywhere. You see it everywhere. And I can't help but say, I've got seen some of the pictures you've shared with your Florida trip. You're hitting those three V's out of the park. I saw you and I think it was your daughter dancing. I thought that was a great connection point to me. Charlie's Angels. You guys are doing this Charlie Angels thing. You sent me that picture. So a huge piece of this puzzle is, and it's really want to make sure people equate this, is that you are a living manifestation of a why that's blossomed for you over the last few years. You may have carried it before that, but it's truly blossomed for you. And then how you do what you do, and then what you do is part of that growth path for you and for others. So that being pre-framed, any thoughts, insights, anything you want to share with what we've talked through so far?
Well, I think you hit it as far as why I'm here and what we're doing and just leaning into that vibrancy, that energy and not being afraid, like able to have fun, able to
Yes.
to just be yourself and be vulnerable
Yeah.
and be silly and speak your truth, really, because so many people don't feel safe to speak their truth or just be authentically them. And from being somebody who always was a people pleaser and trying to keep the peace and um, lift everybody else up, I was somebody who lost a lot of energy. And I think coming from a place where you give, you give, you give, and you get nothing in the tank. And so through my journey of saying enough's enough, like I have to do something. I have to make a choice step by step by step. I mean, I could never have predicted I was going to be here talking with you. So grateful and so blessed that we've,
Yeah.
started this journey together, Charlie. I would not be where I am today without you and your
Oh,
guidance,
thank you.
and that just goes to, why coaching is important or why having an advocate in your corner is so important. Um, I think back to my whole career, really. I think I was a self-starter. Like I was such a self-starter. And, we came from a low-end lifestyle and, going to university, like there wasn't the level of encouragement to push me, if that makes sense. And so I pushed myself a lot. But you can only go so far on your own. And I think um, luckily you have support and people to say, do this, try that. When you're not feeling good, take some step to get yourself out of that funk, whatever that is, right? Instead of thinking, I have to do it by myself to prove something to someone, I don't know who that is,
Oh, yeah.
right? But
Hmm.
yeah, I think when you just accept that you want to do better and
Yeah.
be better because you're not happy where you're at. And that was the start for me. That was really the start for me. I mean, we all have highs and lows in life and we make choices, but in your heart when you're not aligned with what you're doing. And if you have most days that you don't feel joy, like, I'm already getting emotional, I think, when you think of the days. Are you running and hiding, and are you wishing for the weekend? Are you wishing your life away? Are you wishing to be somewhere else? And we only have today. And so I'm grateful that I made some really difficult choices in my life to get me here, but here I am, and my life is just it. You're right, it has blossomed, it has changed in profound ways that I couldn't have possibly imagined. But it's because I've had support from people outside of myself to push me and challenge me and guide me in a safe way where I could speak my truth. And you would know better than anyone because I think, you and I spending an hour together every week for over a year,
Yeah.
providing that place where I can cry and I can laugh and I can dance and I can just say what's on my mind. And,
Yeah.
you might not have all the answers, but you can certainly say, well, this is what I've done. And this is what's helped me. Or, a client has had a similar story. And that's what we
Yeah.
need because we only know what we know, right? So we need to look outside of ourselves. And so just thank you so much for continuing to be in my corner and,
Oh,
and push me a little bit
yeah.
outside my comfort zone. We all need that, right?
Yes. So I just want to share many points that you brought up. So often in life, I've been doing a personal study on first principles of life. It started for me with Elon Musk's work. And Elon Musk, how did he hit so many businesses and then really get them to, inside of a decade, just like repetitive? We got SpaceX, we got Tesla, we got XAI, we got Boring Company, Neuralink. They're just on a trajectory of this. And one of the connection points with what you shared is there's a very clear why, big picture ambition. He wants to keep the candle, the delicate candle light of humanity alive in case of catastrophe here on Earth. That's the multiplanetary part of his journey, and it all points to that direction. Very parallel, we want to feel that we're helping and being the advocate for others to live a life of joy. One of the areas that you unpacked and uncovered that I think you're masterful in, now there's many of these, this is just one, is creating a psychologically safe place where people can express, feel, get illustration, even be challenged because you are a coach, but that there isn't judgment, guilt, or regret inside that box. And that can be in that hour. And you felt that. I hope you felt that for me, because that's a huge piece to my puzzle, is that I realized, so I'm 54. I realized in my 30s that, there's something to be said for having a psychologically safe place. I found that in therapy and with coaching. And I was the guy in my 20s, like, I don't need therapy. I'll figure it out. I don't need a coach. Got this. In my 30s, I was like, I can grow and be a better human with coaching. Heather, Dale, and Paul. I'm shouting out to my first round of coaches. Heather and Dale are uh, daughter and dad, and then Paul is Heather's husband. They're still coaching. This was in the middle of the 2000s. And then with my therapist, Denise, I just really was able to expand and grow and look around corners I didn't know existed, see opportunity I had no idea of. And one of the things that I love about what you're sharing and celebrating is that you found that for you, but as part of your why, you're able to give that gift to others. There's been so many times where you've shared friends or family have spent time in your house and that you've really helped them come in feeling a certain level of in life, but go out feeling recharged, reset, rejuvenated. I got this joy and vibrancy of life. And I just want to make sure we're celebrating these big pieces of who you are now as part of your why. Any takeaways, insights, any other illustration from what I've just shared that you want to talk through?
Yeah, I think, well, what came to mind for me, um, through therapy. I mean, I've had lots of therapy. Listen, I think we all know
Yes.
that if if I don't know what to do, I need somebody to help me figure out what to do.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I think therapy is accepted. I mean, you know, certainly in my previous role with public service, there's all kinds of avenues for support, through employee assistance and all of that. And I did all that certainly through this growth. But there came a point where it was like I need more, like I need the structure of pushing
Hmm.
through. And that's why I think coaching really resonated with me because I felt like I instinctively did
Yes.
that with my friends.
Yeah.
It's not about they're there, let's wallow in this.
Yep.
Let's try and find a path forward. Let's try and think about what do you want
Yeah.
in this situation. And that was a huge shift for me. I think when I think back to how I used to be, it was if I could only fix this, I'll be okay. But I was trying to fix everything external around me
Hmm.
to make me feel safe. I think
Hmm.
really was behind the scenes
Yeah.
and um, making a choice to make me feel better, starting
Yeah.
here and trusting that um, allowed me to make better choices because
Oh.
I was doing it for me. And what
Hmm.
that means, I guess, beyond me is, how does my choice impact my children? How does my choice impact the people I'm working with every day? And, there was a lot of days I was not my best self, I can tell you, right? Not that we have to be 100% all the time, but I just think, Charlie, of how low my energy used to be. Like I was not present, if I could say it that way. So much stuff going on up here, trying to figure out so many things and trying to help so many people with an empty tank.
Yeah.
And when you flip that and say, okay, what do I need? Right? And it's not saying to heck with everybody else. No, that's not what I
Yeah.
mean. I just mean I love the analogy that everybody uses about, you have to put the oxygen tank
I was just going to
Oxygen
say
mask
that.
on yourself first. There's a reason they say that.
Yeah.
And we all think no, it's selfish. It's selfish if we do anything for ourselves, especially as moms. And no disrespect to the dads out there.
Yeah.
I think that's the pressure that I felt generationally growing up,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mom was a stay-at-home mom. She
Yep.
looked after children in the home. She was the one who did the meals and all of that. And so
Yeah.
that just perpetuates through time, right? And
Yeah.
it's learning that, oh, wait a minute, if I get rest, I'm much happier in the morning. Or if
Yeah.
if I eat healthy, I'm not so gnarly kind of thing. So
Love that.
um that
Yeah.
switch of recognizing, oh wow, when I feel better, I show up better, and I have seen profound differences in the people around me simply by flipping that intention
Yeah.
and putting myself last. That was a huge shift for me.
Well, thank you, because this is a huge part of your why now. And if we unpack a why, there's a value structure, there's philosophies, and there's principles that we abide by and live into. And a few of them that I want to unpack from what you shared is the value of self-worth and the value of self-care. And what happened for you, it sounds like, is that all of a sudden you're like, listen, I can't be the best to serve and support others, especially those closest to me, kids, if I'm not taking care of myself. And at some point, it sounds like there's a tipping point or a step forward beyond the normal routine to you step up into taking the best care of yourself and giving it momentum, giving it time, giving it energy. And it isn't selfish because we're taking care of ourselves so we can take care of others. But beyond that, and this is the mark of an exceptional life, is that we are helping others grow. We are helping others see there's more to life. And I love the way it articulates into your superpower of the three magic V's: vision, vibrancy, vitality. Like to get into these things, to really get some momentum about why it's important to you. Now, a side story, a real quick illustration on my life. For years, from 2000 through 2011, I made losing weight about the weight. Guess what happened? It was this for 11 years. When I first stepped into my work through our mentor, Brendan Burchard, and I understood that it wasn't about the weight, it was about the future vision and how you want to show up for those you love, the weight fell off because I was tied to future vision of me being a lean, energetic, clean dad, potentially grandpa if my kids decide to have kids. And I wanted to step into that vision 10, 20 years out if I'm blessed to be here. And when I tied my work to that, it was a non-negotiable when I first started running in the beginning of 2012. And it hurt to run 20 seconds and walk 60. That's how I started using the Ease into 5K app. And I'm like, oh, I can do 20 seconds. And I got through my first 20 and my body's like, what are you doing, buddy? Lungs are on fire, legs are on fire. And I'm like, that was just one of the 20 seconds? Ah. But I would have stopped if it was tied to weight. My point is what you do and what I do is to help people get a clear vision. That's the first part of your 3V framework. And then we tie behaviors, mindset, perspectives, and shifts. And sometimes the people can't think that way because they haven't been used to that level of thinking to take care of ourselves so we can take care of others. Another part of the vision you shared is you want to be the best role model for your beautiful kids. You want to be the best role model for those amazing friendships. But in general, just the natural way that goes, you're going to be the best role model across spectrum. When you're doing your Monday live casts and your Friday live casts, you're showing up with energy. And it's not an artificial energy. It's just, I've got my body in the space. So I can be the best role model energetically. And then my message is completely aligned with it. And that's a huge piece to the 3V framework. So a little bit more on the why. Why is it important to you now to live into this best of you, to be the
Oh,
best role model? Why is it important to you now?
well, there's so many reasons. Now that I'm on the other side and I can
I
I can
love
tell
this.
you, I know how I felt,
Yeah.
you know, um, and how I feel now. And
Yeah.
my kids are my number one, right?
Mm.
If not for them, who? And,
I love it.
I think like, I mean, a similar weight story, like I was extremely overweight. And I could see where my life was headed, Charlie. I mean, it was not good. It was not good at all. And my mom passed away really young, like she was only 63. Well, my dad
Wow.
passed away at 62 and my mom at 63.
Wow.
And um, I was like, I was struggling to roll over in bed or to, literally had to put higher toilets in my house because I couldn't move. Like I couldn't move my body.
Mhm.
And if I wasn't moving, my kids weren't moving. And a sedentary lifestyle is, I fully admit I would sit for hours and hours and hours. I would sit at my desk at work. And you think, I don't know what you're trying to prove. I'm going to work. I'm going to work through lunch and
Yeah.
I'm just going to stay up all night and pull the all-nighters and do the thing.
Yeah.
And we can all push our bodies. I love how you said, the weight thing up and down, up and down. I think I've lost 100 pounds at least 3 times in my life,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
But it came back because it was hoping to live when you hit the target.
Yeah.
And then you hit the target and you're like, thank God I can live again. And you
Yeah.
you haven't really learned anything because you want to go back to how you used to be. And this time it was a little step. There was no intention of losing weight. I mean, yes, I knew that would be a byproduct of
Yeah.
that,
Like a side effect.
but it was the simple words of, I just want to be happy.
Mm.
Like, I just want to be, I felt so unhappy. And I never talked about myself, so I never let anybody hear that or see that, but I felt it.
Yeah.
And you want to run and hide and you don't speak your truth and you don't show up as your best self because you can't because
Yep.
it's not authentic. So you're saying the words, but and I know that people feel you long before you open your mouth.
Yeah.
And when I started this work, and it started as simple as listening to podcasts, seriously, it
Mm.
started that way. But doing the writing, doing the learning, talking out, oh, I discovered this or I tried this, and your whole world starts to open up. And then you get to share it with somebody and they try it too. And they're like,
Yeah.
they have a little more pep in their step. And you're like, oh, now we're laughing and we're comparing and we're sharing and we're celebrating. Like, don't forget the celebration
Yep.
because it is a journey. I mean, I couldn't have lost 150 pounds without the choice to do the first thing,
Yeah.
right? And loving the documentation. I think, you and I both know measurement is key.
Yes.
And it's not a comparison game to the person next to you.
Yeah.
It's not because you don't know what they've gone through. You don't know their history. It starts with yourself and feeling better. And what works for you might not be what works for someone else.
Yeah.
But just giving it a go and thinking, well, I'm going to try this and I'm going to find somebody who's already done it, who I trust and
Yeah.
believe in, and give it a go. And habits, habits take time.
Yep.
Process takes time. And so I don't like to talk about the scale. I don't like to talk about losing anything because I gained more than you could possibly imagine.
Celebrating you. Holy moly. Just the fact that when people see vision, vibrancy, vitality, and you, there is a direct, authentic correlation. Well, that girl's living it, even if you don't say a word. It's just emitting from you. And if that's the thing that we leave as an imprint to others, we've done great work. There is somebody who has vision, and they may not think of it that way. There is somebody who's energized and seems present and engaged. Or there is somebody that seems, for people who aren't in the self-improvement development path like you and I are, there is somebody who seems really cool. Really cool is the language that a lot of people will use when they don't have that depth of what you and I have developed. of articulation, depth, sensory around what cool really means and how it's actuated in that regard. So I want to share a couple principles that you and I have talked through, that you and I are blessed to coach on. And one of them is something you've been really hitting as part of your why is this high performance living definition. The idea that high performance living is the ongoing feeling of full engagement, joy, and confidence while living from our best self. As simple as that quote is, if we break out the words and we rate ourselves on them and we fall below an eight, let's just say 10's the highest, zero's the lowest, and zero would mean you're basically dead, just so we're clear. When we think about for ourselves, for those closest to us, for our team, for anybody we run into, and we break down the word full engagement, how engaged and present am I with them? Then we think about what you shared. How joyful am I with them? Am I bringing joy? Are they joyful? How confident do I feel? Comes as a natural side effect of the work that you and I have done to really build ourselves to be the best versions of ourselves. So then we break down the last part, coming from that consistently living from our best self and then defining and rating ourselves. Am I my best self? So if you do it at the end of every day or the beginning of every morning, you're like, how am I going to be my best self today in these scheduled appointments or with my friends, family, whatever that might be? And then on the other side of it, at the end of the day, how did I do at being my best self? Where could I improve for tomorrow? These are questions that you and I are blessed to not only ask ourselves as part of our self-care and development, but we're also blessed to coach people on. So as we start to switch gears into more of the how and what you do, when we think about how you do things, you are doing practices for yourself that are, I'm going to say superpower practices, that are things that you're role modeling for others. And if they ask you, you have the articulation to say, listen, would you like to know how I'm doing this? Would you like to know why I'm doing this? And you can break that down. And it's what you've shared and what I've seen with my life is that when we have a clear why and a clear how, and we can go deep into that description, articulation, sensory, it's like a non-negotiable for us to live it. So it's a big part of your how and your what is that you're a certified high performance coach who has a specific process that helps people build the articulation through a set of sessions so that they can deepen their why and be authentically them, but have a description and a way of articulating and building that out as part of that. So getting into the how and the what you do, we have certified high performance coaching, we have a monthly program. Can you just talk me through this? Like, what is it that you provide the world as part of your offerings, aiming towards that purposeful, profitable business that really help people move along faster than they would on their own? What shows up there?
Yeah. Well, the high performance curriculum through Brendan. And just as a
Yay!
side note, I mean, I'm new to Brendan World. Like, really, I didn't even know who he was a year ago. Like, a year ago, August of 24, I
Okay.
discovered Brendan Burchard, right?
Yes.
And it was really his coaching program. I mean, I had learned from so many people and
Yeah.
had been doing the work. I had taken several coaching programs and stuff, but it was really his curriculum that I aligned with because I love systems and
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as a CPA, who doesn't love systems, right? You want to count on them, you rely on them, you want the
Yeah.
consistency, right? Um, so I just felt drawn to him. And I talk about it was like an aha moment for me. It really was divine alignment when because I hadn't found the right thing and I just kept trusting that it would come. And it was like this is the answer for me. This is
Yeah.
my next step.
Yeah.
And it was profound being coached through the program first. I had to I had to live it
Yeah.
before you could teach it. And I was always a believer in that, certainly in a work environment, that you had
Yeah.
to be able to get in and do the work
Yep.
far beyond theory. You know, first year might be accounting theory, but it's a whole lot different in practice.
Yes.
And I think I was naturally drawn to this because I love to talk to people And I have always provided that safe space.
Yeah.
Never been one for judgment because I felt judged my whole life. I
Yeah.
felt judged my whole life by my appearance. So, like, I wasn't good enough because I was overweight.
Mhm.
Um, and that's external, right? And that can change, obviously, because people don't even recognize who I am anymore. Like, I know I saw a picture of you from that you posted a few, like 10 years ago. I was like,
Yeah.
I would never have known that was Charly.
Yeah.
And people don't recognize me.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting what someone said to me the other day, and I'm getting emotional, was my eyes,
Yeah.
how they didn't sparkle and they sparkle now. Whew. And I want to see that in my kids' eyes.
Yeah.
You have to be present with your kids. You have to be aware of their feelings and their emotions. And I do that with my kids, with my family, with my friends, with my clients. Is it's that space, that container to just be real,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. Sorry.
No worries at all. I just want to celebrate a few things here. One is there's a couple
Mhm.
messages that we really want to make sure people understand, and this ties to many of the superpowers that you exhibit. One is every human, this is like a first principle of humanity. Every human wants to feel seen, heard, acknowledged, and loved. So, in order to see, hear, acknowledge, and love others, we really need to take care of ourselves. So many
Yeah.
people, especially when I was overweight, it was, I'll see, hear, acknowledge, and I didn't say it like that, but I'll see, hear, acknowledge somebody else as soon as I feel better because I was carrying around so much inflammation. I had massive headaches. I would get migraines all the time. Had a bad case of hemorrhoids. It was terrible. You're in so much self pain
Yeah.
and inflammation that like there's nothing left in your cup to see, hear, and acknowledge others. I got to take care of this mess. Is how I thought about it. But when I finally got to that level of energy and reduction of inflammation, I've lost around 85 pounds. I think at my highest I was 270. I'm down to like 195, and kept it off, but healthfully, so to speak, in that I'm very clear about not eating things that inflame me or degrade brain function so that I can have a cup that's overfull with energy to see, hear, acknowledge, and love others, whether that's kids, family, clients, friends, or just somebody I just met. To be in that, it's sad to say this in today's world because there's digital divide with digital devices, but just to be present with somebody is in one way a superpower. And to sit in a state, and this is something you and I teach about active listening, not listening to like respond, but listening to really hear what people are saying. And that requires a deeper level. First, that your body's in a good state. Second, that you've made a conscious choice to hear what's being said and in the awe and the wonderment. I like the theme that I've chosen for my life, joyful curiosity, to be joyfully curious of others. When we unpack that, joyful means that I have to be energized. Got to get my sleep, eat nutrient rich, exercise, hydrate. Then I can be curious. And then part of that package is active listening and being there for others. And I just feel like we're on the same path in that way. Any takeaways, thoughts, any things that you want to share from that first principle or anything else that's come up for you?
No, I mean, I love that. And I think that's why we get along so well, because we're aligned in the way that we think, right?
Yeah.
And it is a holistic approach. And going back to Brendan's work, or well, I started with Mel Robbins, really,
Mel, shout out to
doing
Mel.
right, um,
Amazing.
doing her workbooks, and just
Yeah.
leaning into asking ourselves those questions
Yeah.
of why is this important, right? Why is this important? And we don't want to put things off, right?
Yeah.
I'll wait till I feel better. How many times have I said that to myself of I'm going to wait to do the thing till I feel better, or I'm going to start my diet or no drinking or exercise program on January 1st.
Yeah.
And so leading up to that, okay, let's eat the box of chocolate, or let's go all
Indulge.
out, right? That because you're afraid you're gonna miss out on something. You're afraid. And fear, I'm telling you, fear and courage is the same thing, right? Fear is real, but it's making the choice anyway.
Yeah.
And thank God. Thank God I made one simple choice, which led to another simple choice, right? And if it didn't work, okay, well, try something else. It doesn't mean one and done, right?
Yep.
Ed Milet's book, The Power of One More, like that really resonated with me. Like, his dad was suffered with alcoholism, and my dad suffered with that as well. And it's real, right? It's
Yeah.
real. And how those things affect us and what we carry that's not ours to carry,
Mhm.
when we do the work and we can unpack that and let that go and realize it doesn't define us.
Yeah.
Just because I used to eat chocolate or I used to be the martyr and stay up all night and want everybody to say, good job, Vicki, because you near killed yourself.
Yeah.
um, Doing it the right way this time. And that balance,
Celebrating
I
you.
didn't have balance. And now that I have balance and know, like, I have my own energy scoreboard because I need something that I'm in control of. Like,
Yes.
I spent so much of my time trying to control so much outside of me to make me feel safe.
Yep.
And really, when I can look at my energy scoreboard and say, these are all things I can do, I have control over to lift me up so that I can serve those around me
Yeah.
and give off that energy, give off that vibrant Vicky vibe that
Yeah.
everybody talks about. And I know I still have dips, but I know how to get myself out of them. And I think that's what I can bring to the table is I've been low. I've been low.
Yeah.
Like I had a 5 year low, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
I had a lot of stuff. People have stuff. Everybody has stuff.
Yeah.
And whatever that looks like for you, whether that's relationships or health or struggling with finances. I mean, like we're in the holiday season here, and that's tough for a lot of people on many, many fronts. And so I'm just so blessed that I have learn the tools, and I have so many more tools in my toolbox. Thanks to you, and thanks to Brendan, and thanks to
Yeah.
Mel and Ed, and you know the things that I've continued to do, the tools I've invested in,
Yeah.
and I think that's a key. My accounting brain is going off
Yeah.
because I was so driven in cut and save and cut and save
Yeah.
mentality, do more with less, right?
Yep.
Um, and that is a good point, but you have to do investments. You have to build a solid foundation, and that takes time. It's not a one and done. It's not a quick fix.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for a quick fix, but they don't want to do the work, right? And how many people have said it? Choose your hard, right?
Yeah.
It's life is hard. We have stuff come at us. Learning how to be resilient, learning how to tap into tools that can help us get through it. We're still here,
Yeah.
right? Um, I started this massive shift. It'll be coming up on 3 years in March for me since I really
Yay.
made some significant changes in my life and focused on me. And I could not have predicted I would be sitting here right now, but I've consistently sustained this level, and if anything I keep going up, and
Oh,
that's
so good.
expansion and that's growth, and I'm choosing it. And I think that's why it doesn't feel as difficult, because I'm not hiding, I'm not running away, I'm going all in. People who know me know I go all in. So when I can go all in on
So good.
myself, then I can help other people see that in themselves, and that's my goal.
I just want to share. There's so much to unpack. I'm going to do a baby job of unpacking this. Podcast 2, 3, 4. We can go ultra deep, whatever that looks like for you. But here's the thing, to get to tactics for people, you shared some really, really powerful resources Mel Robbins' work, Ed Milet's work, Brendan's work. You have your energy scoreboard. I know you have your parenting scoreboard. So if people are just trying to assess through these scoreboards, which are effectively one sheet and you rate yourself, where I stand in this realm, here's techniques, tools, and resources that can help you assess where you stand. If you decide from your ratings or from your readings with the books that we've shared that you need more guidance, support, or help, you're the person. So you have programs that can help people. From what you've shared with me, you have certified high performance coaching at a one-to-one, maybe even a group level, but you also have your monthly program. So I'd just love to take a moment here and maybe talk through your tools, the energy scoreboard, the parenting scoreboard, and then what these particular ways that people say, you know what, I raise my hand, can't do this alone. Vicki, I'd love your help. What do the programs look like? So we'll spend a little time here, and then we'll see how that rolls out.
Yeah, sure. Um, well, I think first and foremost, just having the ability to reach out and talk, and whether that's in person or whether
Yeah,
that's online, like we're doing right now, um, I'm blessed to be able to do that. And I've created my own tools based on trying things from other people, like from Brenda. I mean, I have my high performance planner here. I carry it with me everywhere I go.
yay.
And so you use a tool like this high performance planner
Yeah,
has been a godsend to me, I must say. And I've used this to help modify what works for me in my
yeah,
life, and asking myself those questions.
yeah,
So, as far as what I can do, like I have from the high performance lens, the strategy session, the high performance strategy session is
yeah,
amazing
yeah,
because it covers off those areas of clarity and energy and productivity.
yeah,
And that one was huge for me. I think that's what drew me in more than anything because learning how to manage your time,
yeah,
we only ever have today, right? And when you're a go-getter and a self-starter and you want to do all these things and you're trying to figure out how to do them, you have to take a step back to the vision and figure out what's most important and
yes,
make sure that you're working on the needle movers. You're working on what matters most. And for me, that was my health.
yeah,
And so I have the ability to share what I did, I guess, through my journey of of releasing all that extra weight, of making healthier food choices, of getting rid of the sugar, right? Getting rid of that and learning how to listen to my body and move my
yeah,
body and doing that. And all of that's covered within the monthly pathway of vision, vibrancy, and vitality. And that group setting is wonderful. Like there's monthly coaching. Every month we go live on the first Sunday of the month, and there's Q&A after, and there's lots of resources in there. But it really depends on where the person's at because
yeah,
I've I have things that I have done. I mean, I've raised my scores in every single area
yeah,
of of Brendan's life arenas, whether that's in spirit or family or friends, relationships, your health, your career,
yep,
your purpose,
yeah,
and and even more so, I like your joy, your experiences, because I didn't have a lot of that. I
yeah,
tried,
yeah,
right? Um, I really tried, but people didn't feel it. Like it was such an effort.
yeah.
It was such an effort. And now I have created so many tools that I can bring myself out of it quickly.
Yay.
And so when you can like, okay, I'm not feeling good here. Huh, I'm feeling, I'm saying words that I don't normally say. I'm not feeling so kind towards someone. Um, that's on me,
Yeah,
right? I need to show up as my best self because you don't know what they're going through.
yep,
And so I'm really intentional about using these tools like the energy scoreboard
Yep.
so that I can show up as the best mom. And I guess an example with the parenting scoreboard, which energy comes first because you can't bring it if you don't have it.
We've
Um,
landed that for sure in our journey today.
yeah. Um, and again, for my kids, I was so busy all the time at work, right? And now having the tools like that to say, okay, what can I do if they're coming in because they're older now? As you know, your girls are older too, and
Yeah.
time is precious with them. And so whether it's 10 minutes or whatever, you can look at these tools and say, what can I do now
Yeah.
to move me forward? And that's a great one.
I
Now,
love
how
that.
fast you want to go, I know it's different for everyone, right? It's
Yeah.
different for everyone. Some people are all in and they're like, yes, I'm willing to spill my guts and let's go. Like,
Yeah.
tell me what to do and I'll do it. What would Vicki do? Like, right?
I love that.
But for a lot of people, it's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary because they haven't had that ability to
Yep.
talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And just being able to speak the words out loud. So my approach might be a little bit different. Like get on a call with me and
Yeah.
see if we have a similar vibe first, because I might not be your person, and that's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, there was a lot of therapists I went to that I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it a go, but they were more enthralled with what I was saying than helping me. And
Mm.
so,
Yeah.
um, for my high performance coaching, I'm in the room. I will be your advocate. I will share the tools and tips that have helped me from where I was to where I am now.
Yeah.
Um, and it really depends on where you're struggling, because depending on the day, it might be a different area, right? Um, but it does come back to energy, and that's
Yeah.
that's the vibrancy piece that we have control over. And I'm
Yeah.
really good at that. I'm not going to lie. I'm really good at that.
I'm going to say you're a ninja, a masterful person at that.
Yeah.
So good. So, as we really think this through, one technique to make this very tactical and tangible for the people who are very afraid of asking for help. And the other thing that we haven't really addressed is sometimes they are saboteurs in their life. Sometimes it's themselves, but other times it's their spouse, it's their close friend group. And the simplest form of saboteur is somebody else saying to you when you start to go down this path, if they were to get your energy scoreboard and they filled it out, somebody looking at it go, why are you filling that out? That's the simplest form of saboteur that can take place because all of a sudden we're like, well, why am I filling that out? So I always challenge people when they take Vicky's energy scoreboard, for example, or they're like, I want to be the best parent. What does she got for that? I want the parenting scoreboard. To be ready for the saboteurs and they can be themselves. But instead of saying, well, trying to defend why you're filling the scoreboard, you can simply say something along the lines of, listen, I feel like I can be a better person. And Vicky's provided this scoreboard. I'm just going to see. And if you want to know why I want to be a better person, because I feel like, I want to be the best for you. I want to be, if you have kids, I want to be the best for our kids. I want to feel better. I want to be better so that we can feel and be better. And that's not an arguable thing because it's about feeling and being your best. So it sounds like if people want to take decisive action, whether you're in a world where it's like, I'm not going to be talking to Vicky, at least get the energy scoreboard, assess yourself on it. If they want to just talk it through, they can get on. And I think what we're calling your kind of exploratory call is a discovery call of sorts. They can get
Yeah.
on and just talk to you. So if they have the energy scoreboard filled out and then they send it to you or whatever, you can reach out to them, set up a time, maybe it's on Zoom, maybe it's in person, whatever it is, to talk through that. And then from that call, if they want to move faster, or fastest, there's options for them. And you have your monthly program, you've got one-on-one coaching and these kind of things. Or if they just want to sit in that space and try one thing. So often in those discovery calls, I do those as well. I'll share if you're not committed to moving too fast, that's fine. That's where you're at. But if you want to do just one thing from the injury scoreboard, what do you think that would be? And if you want to email me every week on how well you did on it, let's just do that. And that can be free. Like just say I did this one thing, and it could be I'm going to sleep 8 hours instead of 6. Very easy. People have shared with you and I that when they up their sleep from 6 to 8 or 7 to 8, they feel like a different person. They feel better about their day. They have stronger willpower and so on. If you're just going to share with me at the end of every week, here's my sleep quotient for every day. That's all we got to do. That's a fast level of movement. Faster might be your group program, your monthly program. Fastest might be reaching out to you one on one. So I just really want to make sure as we bring this to close that we have a very clear next step for the beautiful people that are listening and thinking about, okay, I get it. Probably want more energy because energy is life. And I want to feel a better vibrancy in life. I want to feel vitality, but I also want a better vision. This is the baby step for that. Anything you want to add to that as you think about that, those steps that they can take immediately to assess where they're at and to get some support or just talk things through? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think it just starts with one choice, like
Yeah.
one choice, because you don't know where it could lead. And, tr just try, just give it a try. And if it doesn't work, listen, like I get it. And if people want to
Yeah.
try a strategy session and it doesn't work halfway
Yeah.
through, no harm, no foul. Or they want to
Yeah.
try coaching for a month and say, no, it's not for me. Well, at least you've tried. At least you've walked away with more tools
Yeah.
in your toolbox and you've been able to share your truth a little bit. And it's in sharing that communication, that connection with somebody else that you don't feel so alone. We are not alone. And there are so many people that have gone through what we've gone through.
Yeah.
And we think we're the only ones, and we are not. And it's in sharing your struggle that helps you move through it so much faster. And you
Mm.
don't beat yourself up. It's not about beating yourself up. It's really not. Celebrate making the call, celebrate the first step, celebrate the first K, the first pound, the first cry, the first
Yeah.
hug, the first, all of those wonderful little moments where you're choosing you, celebrate it and share it, right? That's the message I want to give. And that's what I try and
Hey.
create. That's what I try and create with Envision Vibrancy and Vitality.
Love it. So to be ultra clear, if they just want to assess, they can almost anonymously, but not quite, dip their pool in. What is it for me? Whether it's energy or parenting, you've got a scorecard for each and they can rate themselves. If they're okay with getting on a discovery call, talking it through, seeing what comes up for them, making one commitment, you've got that capacity for them. If they want to move faster, you have your monthly program, but you also have a strategy session, which is a one-time session, it sounds like, where you go over in a certain amount of time, usually 60 minutes to 90 minutes is how you and I do it, where we can go through specific areas that will help you get more articulation about why you need clarity, what clarity looks like. All part of
Mhm.
the vision, by the way. And if they want to really get this, you and I both know this is not a destination. This is a journey. So you have the monthly program as a journey. You have, at a deeper level, one-on-one coaching as a journey for them. So you've got this very clear path. And I would just challenge the listener or the person watching to just at least reach out to you. And we'll have links in the show notes, of course, to get the scorecards. If you're a parent, get the parenting one. Definitely get the energy one. Energy is life. The whole vision, vibrancy, and vitality is built on growing, sustaining, and iterating great energy. And that will give you a quick assessment as to what are some of the things that you need to talk out. What's the one thing you can do right now, and the one thing you can do next month, or the one thing you can do the month after that to build this energy over time. So, as we wrap up, you know the question we love to ask each other with everything we've covered in your first podcast, something you loved, something that you feel this was, wow, this was cool. What showed up for you in our first podcast today?
Oh, I'm so excited for what's to come, to be honest, Charlie. I mean,
I
you and I are
love it.
going places like developing my program, and I know you're working on your program, and it's just about sharing what we've learned and helping people grow and be better humans so we can show up for
Yes.
those people that we love. And um, if people want to reach out to me, like they can message me or VLH Pathways. Really, just make the call and have that connection and see how you feel. It's really about how
Yeah.
you feel. And I would welcome anybody. I'd gladly take the time.
Yay. A couple things I want to say as we wrap up. The thing I loved is that you are living proof of the three V's. You have put time, energy, and effort to bring this to life over a sustaining period of time. You are fresh in the conversation for the baby steps from where they're at to where they can go. And it isn't a one and done. It is a let's baby step the first thing. And you may say to them, would you like guidance on what that first thing is based on my life's experience? And they may not know because they're new to this. And you have that expertise, that guidance. You're also blessed to have a curriculum that works. Thousands and thousands of sessions I've personally coached in the curriculum that you're blessed to be certified in, the certified high performance coaching. And you've got that, and you're masterful at that. You're a living proof that that works. So there's a lot of things that unpack for that, and we're just really being stewards of the word, stewards of the commitment into the world of being the best role models for others, but also helping people move through that. Um, as we wrap up, I just want to send positive, loving, healthy, healing energy, vibes, and thoughts to anybody who's watching or listening. As part of your and my journey in life, it is really about helping people be, do, and feel their very best. Final words as we wrap up. Vicki, anything else?
Oh, just thank you. Thank you for showing up
Yay!
for me every week and being in my corner and providing that space for me because I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't do it without the support of the people
Yeah.
in my life. And I hope to be able to pass that on to others, just as you've
Yay!
done for me.
I am so happy. You would be honored to work with Vicki because you are such a role model, a amazing, purposeful, present, passionate human who is very much around creating and sustaining habits in our work in the business world systems, habits and routines that support you and feel that. So this ends the very first podcast. And I just want to thank you so much for being on the journey here. And we'll have a great one. Talk to you later. Bye,
Okay,
everybody.
bye.